Now, I think you had some fun ideas you wanted to share about how you're mixing things. For the holiday.
I did. And that is, I love an old-fashioned. I love an old-fashioned because it's easy to make.
Yes.
3 ingredients, and so long as you remember 1, 2, 3, you can't go wrong.
I don't know about that.
I do. Can't go wrong.
Okay, go give me an example.
Okay, so the first step of the 1, 2, 3. Step 1 is, all you really need, you need a glass, you need an ice cube, a spoon, and you're good to go.
Right.
And a shot glass, because I am a big believer in actually measuring things out. So your first one is a shot of sweetener. Now, your traditional recipe will say simple syrup, which is a 1-to-1 mixture of white sugar and water. And you heat that on the stove, and that's how you get simple syrup. But that's not the only thing that you can use. What if you made that, you're in another house, you're staying with family or whatever, and they've got brown sugar. Mm-hmm. Awesome. You can kind of just take a teaspoon of brown sugar. If you don't want to make up your syrup, just take a teaspoon of the brown sugar and put it straight into your glass.
Yep.
But also, what happens if they've got maple syrup?
Mm-hmm.
Bang! Shot of maple syrup. Use that as your sweetener.
I'll tell you a quick little side note here. I have never made an old-fashioned without maple syrup.
Right.
It is the way to make it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Hey, look, if you're going to use a barrel-aged one as well, like this, which just...
It's a Herrick Creek one, everyone. If you don't know,
is.
it's we just released that and it's all sold out already. But keep an eye out for future ones.
But if you have got honey, making that 1-to-1 mixture with honey. If you've got jam, you can just put a spoonful of jam in there as well. So just so long as you've got kind of like 1 spoonful or 1 shot, depending on the consistency of a sweetener in there, bang. Your 2 is 2 shots of whiskey. Now, if you make that with, if you made it with something that was sherry aged, or you made it with something that is smoked, or if you make it, whatever you make it with is going to drastically alter the flavor of the cocktail.
Yeah.
So that's the fun part, is that you get to then play around. Like, what do I prefer? Which combination of what sweetener with which whiskey? Mm-hmm. I still haven't made the perfect one, and I'm happy
to admit that.
To keep trying, to keep saying that I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying to figure it out.
I'm going to share really quickly what I like for my 2.
Yes.
I always like to go 1 part bourbon and 1 part, I'm so sorry, this is a lot of Herrick Creek stuff, but maple moonshine. My maple moonshine that we make, because it's...
Oh, for your spirit. Yeah. So a double base spirit.
I do a double. Yeah.
Okay.
A bourbon and then a maple moonshine. And then it doesn't matter if I use maple syrup or not as a sweetener, because there's always that bit of maple in there. It's really, really nice. That's been my go-to for the past little while. Do you have a go-to?
I have not. Because there are some days where I will make it with something like the slow gin, which is just so bang and out there. And then other days where I will make it with something closer, more resembling like bourbon, the likes of a Glen Grant or something like that. In which case there is more room for your sweetener, and also your step 3 dashes of bitters. There's more room for that to play around when you use something like a Glen Grant.
I'm inspired.
So, your home bar should have a bottle of bitters, and investing in a bottle of Angostura bitters is fantastic. But Angostura bitters is not the only kind of bitters out there. That if you go to a liquor store, you can find orange bitters. I've seen walnut bitters. I've seen rhubarb bitters. So you can get all different types of flavors of bitters. So just go crazy. And this wasn't planned.
But we've been talking about it now, and I kind of want one. So